Hello, Internet! This is Z Schrodinger's cat, and welcome to another episode of Finish the Base. Last time we made this room, which still is very unfinished, and also some stuff on the outside here, this place right here. And between episodes, I've been kind of extending that back here. I mirrored the angles on this other side and added these little stairs here so you can get down to the other levels. And I've also kind of extended this up to kind of make this wall fit with the rest of it. It is another different angle from that too, which is kind of cool, but they're all similar enough that they work, I think. And I have this under thing right here with clay and these diagonal spike or hang downs and these pillars, which I think are looking good. It looks good in this way, and it's helping to support it more and make it look more supported a little bit. It looks a little weird from this angle because you have the clay there and the cyan stained clay there and the clay over here, but not an easy combination of blocks to talk about, I'll be perfectly honest. I need to do something to make this wall less flat and garbage. I used to have it as the raw clay. Yeah, it is a very difficult combination of blocks to talk about. I had the this clay here before, but it looked like just too much clay, like this, because it was here, and then it was on the bottom here, and then it was on the side here, so I changed it to the cyan stained clay, it still needs something to break up this flatness of the wall, in form too, not just in color. So maybe like a window or something? Give me this, and it's hard to do this stuff on camera because of all the counting. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, so I separate it to be 7 of these things on each side so that it's centered-ish. I know that doesn't exactly work out because of the way that lines work and the theory what with the lines and the triangles, hypotenuse, something like that. You know what I mean. You probably don't. That was probably a sequence of complete nonsense, utter babbling. But regardless, I got these things kind of evenly spaced out, sort of to the best of my ability. And let's see. Do I want to come up, or do I want to have it just be like square? Or circle? No, circle will not look good because we're all squares here. Let's do just going up and make like a rectangle. I don't know about that. Well, I guess it helps. I did a little bit more detailing in the meantime here. Kind of took it down, and also down here a little bit. I don't know if I actually showed this. I like the way this is starting to look under here, but I need to do something with these windows. I guess balconies? Do we have like little balconies like this that come out and stick out of the wall, and like that maybe they're at the same angle, or maybe they're at a different angle? So it has been a while. I got this worked out. Well, it's been like 2 days. I got this kind of worked out. It still needs work. I changed out the what was that noise? I changed out the cyan clay that was here for gray concrete because I felt like the cyan clay was blending in too much with the hardened stone brick. Same problem we had on this roof, so I figured I'd try it out, and it works, I think, a lot better. It has more contrast. I added these balcony things, pretty standard, nothing especially special about them. I decided to do them straight on the perpendicular as opposed to the angle because, God, am I tired of angles, and also I think it stands out a little bit more. I made a bit, like, the mistake I made with this place was trying to be fancy and adding too many angles because I wanted to add more pillars here. Like, you'll see I added these things here. but they don't line up correctly. Like, this one comes to, like, here, and this one comes to, like, over here, and it looks weird, and there's no way to transition them evenly. Like, over here worked out fine because this is on the same sort of line, but these, not so much, which is why there's this weird thing. But they provide light. If I take off the night vision, they provide light to the things, so that's good. And I also wanted something to kind of enclose the space over here, because I have this wall, and without anything to enclose the space, it kind of makes you wonder why the hell there's even a wall there in the first place. So now there's this wall, and it's kind of enclosed more in that. I think it helps. And there's still a lot of empty space here that needs to be worked out. But the big addition is this thing over here. And I didn't start recording for this because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I didn't know if it was a good idea, or how to, like, explain it, and then by the time I did know what I was doing, I was already balls deep in the project, and I'm like, oh, if I start recording now, it'll be weird, but then I was like, and then it was done, and I was like, okay, I guess I could just start from here, but I added this courtyard thing with this little fountain here. The water's a little bit, crappy, but, I'll fix it later. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. It might be fine. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna put plants here, like in the fashion of Yonder, and like the sand and of course all that stuff. This, I'm not sure if this is done or not. I'm not sure if I should add details like that or if it will be too busy. I'm unsure, and that's why it's not done. I've got this kind of pillory thing here. It transitions from the hardened stone into the clay, which I think helps because it's a different. It draws more of a. It defines this shape a little bit more because this is a lighter color, and I like how this came out. I like all the curves in the stuff. I like it. It looks sufficiently in the style. I was concerned that with all of these curves, it would look a little bit too, like, gothic, but it doesn't. So, yay! And I think these look solidly like, tube supports or whatever, like, giant PCB pipes or something. Yeah, I also have this glass bridge, which I really like here. This is what I started with, and I think it looks cool. You got these sort of designs down here, and this sort of layer without the designs to kind of take up the bottom and give it a stopping point. And the transition in here is a little weird, but I also did this area. And this area is not done, but it is more done than it was before. It's actually, it's smoothed out. It's not, it's not a giant hole. And I got this kind of weird staircase that kind of butts into the room a little bit too much. But, I also changed this back to clay, and, I did other stuff. Did I talk about these stairs? I don't even remember what was here the last time I was recording. But, yeah, I got this kind of big bulky thing in the middle here. I started out thinking I was going to go into a building, and then I was like, platform, courtyard, that'll work. And so I don't know what's going on with that. I might have another one on another side to sort of have some consistency with it. But, yeah, it's starting to look cool with the different now that we have multiple courtyards. Starting to get the feel that I want of a sort of a city that's raised above the ground, because the outside world is so hostile that you can't really have traversing between buildings, so you only have really one entrance, and then your whole situation is sort of raised, elevated above this hostile environment. So that's starting to come together. As for what I'm going to do in the rest of this episode, I think I'm going to do some more I'm going to do some terraforming and landscaping around this area, because I feel like landscaping, with the exception of this, is something that's been severely neglected. I expanded the yellow bits around the area. It takes a while, so I didn't do everything that's available. I also took this down I just swapped these out with a block exchanger from grass. I've been doing that a little bit off camera, gradually expanding the area. You can see it on Journey Map. the area that's covered now. But now, after that, I've been taking it from the full block scale to the half block scale and creating better terrain, because this terrain is pretty bad, as per usual vanilla generation. But I also, I started to expand the yellow, and I centered it a lot around the pole, the idea being that this shadow of this giant thing is gonna shield any plant life from the hostile, winds and harsh temperatures of the area a little bit, and that's why it's kind of patchy in here, is because it's kind of a really hostile environment, and plants have a harder time surviving, except for these like little mosses that kind of are very durable. But there's going to be more plant life built up around here, because there's going to be shade and shelter from winds and storms and stuff. So yeah, that's why that's circled there. I also got some, I think this is moon turf and grout next to the alabaster and the clay, to kind of make it look dirtied, like there's dust and plant guts and mold, or not anything that, mostly just dirt, really. So that adds a nice thing. It's similar to what I did over here, except a little less extreme, because they don't have the muddy water next to it. But now I want to add some of these kinds of things, but like in little tentacle formations, like probably actually more like these, except maybe a bit smaller, because those took a long time. Maybe I'll have a few big ones and a few little ones, but just like, I don't know, making some little wigwaggles, like giant blades of slimy grass or something. So some odd thing happened, some very bizarre thing called, I forgot to plug in my microphone as I recorded about 12 minutes of footage that you are watching right now. So now I'm voicing over it, and basically I'm just showing off these little plant things that I made. They're very similar to the ones that are over underneath the bridge to the cafeteria area, but they are over here instead. And I wanted to put some vine stuff around, like kind of like hanging brambles, less, like leafy whatever, and more like brambles. That's why I'm using such like a grayish green color, and I ended up changing that later, which you'll see in the next clip. But yeah, I'm coming around and filling out the space, because it looked bad on the half block scale, and just making it look pretty rough and ragged. I wanted to add some little hangy bits, like some more leafy vines just kind of dangling off the side here, to give it some more interest and kind of make it look like it's an old vine that new plants have started to grow on top of. Like it's sort of old and whatnot. The colors are a little weird here, because I expected them to look a little bit more gray, and they turned out looking kind of green. So I ended up changing that later, but the idea works. Now I'm trying to get like a weird flower type thing. Not so much like a flower in the sense that it's gonna photosynthesize or whatever, but that it has these like fronds or whatever. It's gonna look vaguely flowerish, but kind of like a flower that's turned to muck. I don't know, you'll see later, but it's sort of like it's scraping particulates out of the air for nutrients or whatever to feed itself, but it's the idea being that this is such a harsh environment that it's taking shelter under the shade of this platform, and it's sort of scraping nutrient and other sort of particulates from the air to feed itself. And I've got these. I ended up going for like this plus shape, like this 4 petal thing, because that just felt right, I guess. And that's looking pretty blocky, but I'll fix that later. It looks okay. I could have done better with making it sort of angle forward a little bit. That would have made it look a little bit more organic, but I think it's all right. Yeah, I'm starting to chip out and give it some more form to make it look a little bit less blocky, bringing it down to 1/8 block scale. And here I'm making the inner bit look fluffier because it looks, you know, it's very blocky as it is and doesn't really look like the center of a flower so much as like a screw. So I'm adding some, I'm taking it down to 16th block scale, I think, and I'm about to add some like little scattery organic type things. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm adding little jut outs on the side because I'm trying to figure out in my brain how I want this thing to work. Took a little bit of fussing. Yeah, I'm like messing with the sides here, like, how can I make this look a little bit more round? And then I eventually give up and just like vomit single bits all over the place. That'll happen in a second. Yeah, I try messing around something with the center, like trying to get that, and I think I do keep that, trying to like just like round it out a little bit. Yeah, and here I just vomit bits everywhere, just all random and such, to make it look fluffy, kind of like a cotton ball, or like one of those plants that looks like a cotton ball. The white ones, the puffs. I don't know what they're called. The puff flowers that grow like weeds. I'm shaving off the weird little divots I put on the end there because they were looking too symmetrical, or at least I shaved off one. Now I'm looking to add some detail to they're kind of like petals. Yeah, I'm bringing the petal shape down to 16th block scale to, again, smooth it out a little bit, and I use a similar approach to the vomit bit stream of the middle to get a more organic effect later on. Yeah, I started out trying to be symmetrical with this because it's easier to take a symmetrical object and make it asymmetrical than it is to take an asymmetrical object and make it symmetrical. So I wanted a vaguely, because flowers are vaguely symmetrical plants. They just kind of differ a little bit. You know, their petals kind of warp and bend and stuff, but they're vaguely symmetrical. You know, you can stack up petals and all that. Yeah, I decided to take a new approach to recording a little bit more of it, and with the intention of kind of editing it out, editing out the silent bits, because I'm just trying to experiment with formatting for this kind of videos, because the creative videos are quite a lot more difficult to make than survival videos, so I'm just kind of experimenting with like just like how to get decent footage that isn't super choppy, or not necessarily choppy because it's gonna have a lot of edits, but like continuous, having more continuous footage and less like, like here's this and here's that and here's this, and just more naturally flowing footage that takes kind of less creative energy, because it takes the most amount of energy to start a clip in a way. Yeah, I'm adding these dangly bits. They're kind of like hanging off, like they're this moss or like what's it, fronds, tendrils? No, that's not, those aren't fronds, I guess, coming down, like scraping the air, and like semi-permeable membranes and stuff kind of hanging off this plant. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of experiment with different ways of recording, because these Finish the Base episodes have been taking a long time, like 4 to 6 days, and ideally I want them to take like 2 days, because that's what I like uploading Minecraft videos as, every 2 days. So I'm trying to experiment with different ways of recording that are give me some more substance, I don't know, full of substance content versus here's a thing, here's another thing, here's a third thing, and create a little bit more continuity in the editing and all that. So yeah, it's an experiment. I'm kind of taking lessons from the Witcher series that I've been doing, because the editing there is quite different than Minecraft videos, and it's a lot more constant recording and then editing out if there's silence, versus the way that I approach Minecraft videos in general is I just start recording when something interesting is happening, and I stop recording when it stops happening. But that's always not always an option in a game like The Witcher, where you're like, you know, anything can happen at any time. So I'm kind of like learning from that and seeing like what positives I can take from that and sort of incorporate into the way that I make Minecraft videos, because it takes significantly less time to make a Witcher video than it does to make Minecraft video, which is why I have so many more than the Minecraft videos, is they just take less time. So I'm trying to think of like what is it, you know, obviously you're recording more, but you know, how can I take from that and to try and make the Minecraft video process a little bit more efficient, and less like pained, I guess. I wouldn't describe it as pained, but like, cause I still really enjoy doing these Minecraft videos, but more, I don't know what the word is for it. So I screwed up the last recording, so I don't know what, I have a bunch of video with no audio, so I might do a voiceover. I don't know. Regardless, this is what it looks like now with the vines. I changed, in the last clip I had these as brownstone, and I changed them to, excuse me, shut up windows! My mouth and my windows making noises ruin the recording. Alright, I changed it to clay because the brown, that yellowish brown was clashing a little bit and wasn't really in the color scheme. It looked kind of green, which kind of took away from in the other colors, and I changed the dangly bits from, I think it was dried clay to chiseled netherrack, and I think that looks a lot better being red versus that kind of greenish yellow brown. I left the flower as it is. It's not in the color scheme really, but it is close enough, I think, and it's small enough that it doesn't necessarily matter. I have this going all the way around here. I like how I've hung it. Sometimes I make vines and they look disorderly, but I think it works because they're kind of spiraling around, but they're doing it at different angles relating to each other. I forgot to mention I did this addition to this place over here. I did this a little while ago. I did it at the same time that I did this bit, but I just forgot to mention it. So yeah, this building has more of a top now. The roof is still not finished because I think I want to go higher, but I'm not entirely sure how to incorporate that into the rest of the build, because I don't just want a big tall rectangle. I gotta think of a reason why it would be such big and tall, but I'm thinking I might put some sort of antenna or satellite dish or something on top, like a big satellite tower or something. That could work, but I'm still undecided in that regard. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, and I need to deal with this over here somehow in a way that doesn't involve more angle walls, because they fill me with so many rage feelings and pain. So I need to, I'm thinking of putting another courtyard. It's gonna be a courtyard episode. So because it kind of fits with this. It's got this kind of cascading thing. I'll probably knock out this area and add more stairs, but maybe having, oops, I knocked the controller. I was recording Witcher earlier, and the controller is still here, and it made noise. Ruin my recording, stupid gravity. Alright, I'm thinking maybe I'll have some sort of raised thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think I come out like, no, please no. Cooperate with me, please. Mouse, I did not mean to do that. Okay, stop. Okay, we got this. Alright. Right. How far do we want to go out? I don't know. I'm a little unsure on this venture. That could work. That could definitely work. How many blocks between, if I take from here to right here, that is 22 blocks on the horizontal, and this over here, if I take this to over here, that is 28 blocks on the horizontal. That is awkward. That's mad awkward. I might need to extend this a little bit. Let's put something like this here. Okay, and then connect it. connect it around here yonder in this wordly fashion. And once we have connected it, we can do this and get a little bit more of a reasonable measure, followable. Okay, so that's 28. Alright, we can work with that. So we want to bring this out to the same level and put 28 over here, and then we will incorporate we will adjust this side of the building as we need to get it to be even. Let's see, how many is this right now? It is 24, so we need 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, nailed it. Alright, I'll bring this up this way. I'm hoping that this building isn't getting too ridiculously large. I keep building onto it, hoping that one day I will complete a single structure, but as it stands right now, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Alright. That could work for a please lag spike. Please let me, please! Free me! Thank you, Mr. Lag Spike. And this will cover up this gross, ugly area over here. We want to come down... Let's see, we did... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that works. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll increase it by 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I think we will go to 12 because it'll increase. I often like increasing things by Fibonacci sequences. So this is 2 longer than this. Next Fibonacci number is 3. And so if we come down here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that actually works out pretty well. And we can do 5 now, because that's the next Fibonacci number in the sequence. It just adds a nice curve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's not going to bring us to the ground, but, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this we can probably bring all the way to the ground, like this. And yeah, that'll be obscured by the thing. Yeah, that's a nice, see that nice curve? It's a nice curve. Fibonacci is a good, reliable Fibonacci. If you don't know what Fibonacci sequence is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's basically you start at 1 and you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You start at 1, you have 1 again, then you add those 2, so that gets 2, and then you add 1 and 2 to get 3, and then you add 2 and 3 to get 5, then you get 3 and 5 to get 8, so you're basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're adding, if n is the current number that you're adding n plus n minus 1. That is the number before n. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is your next number, and then you just continue that process. I don't know if that explanation makes sense, but it is an explanation, so I get points for trying. I brought these bars along here to kind of get the bottom here, so I'm going to have these layers coming down, and then eventually it'll mold into a wall. As for the front side, I'm thinking this is 28, right? So 28... I want 2 in the middle. 28 minus 2 is 26, is 13. That doesn't divide evenly. How about, let's see, 28 minus, math. The math doesn't work out nicely. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, here. And we go up 2, and then, mouth noises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2. Like that. First of all, wrong. Okay. Something is very wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should be like that. There we go. That works out. And yeah, that's okay. It's a little weird. I don't know if I should reverse it. And, like, have this go down lower? Actually... I think that's okay. I think that will work. So I'm gonna bring these bars around here, across, and it shall be known as the front curve. Full frontal. Yeah, that'll be alright. And then I want to copy the same pattern over here. So I want to come like this, and bring this up here, right? And have it kind of progress down here in that same curve. This is how it stands now, and it looks... I mean, it's not done, and it looks bad. It's not done, and it looks bad. Even for something that is at the stage of doneness. I had it as, like, wavy waves, like it was wavy. This, you see where this diagonal little stretch of line is? It was wavy, and that looked really bad, so I erased it and kind of put this diagonal straight plane, and that looks less, but still kind of bad. I'm a little lost. I'm thinking maybe if I add a little bit more support to these, so that they're less dangly, because they don't kind of really make much sense. So maybe I come across like this? No, that's too small a scale. Let's even try this. Wow, no, mouse, please cooperate with me. Thank you, good sir. Your cooperation is very much appreciated. Okay, now. I think that's helping. I think that does help. Do I want to come around here? Wow, it is lightning out. Hold on. Weather, clear, 99999. Thank you. Okay. Yes? Now, what happens if I do it on this side as well? Does it look weird if I have... I'll have to make this symmetrical, I think, and then, kind of smooth it out from there. Let's see. No! Oh, this is awkward. This is gonna make it kind of more difficult, because on the lower ones, there's this thing. So maybe I... That is a little weird. That's a little funky to work out there. Let's see. Let's restore this to its former glory. I think that'll work. What if I do this instead? And have it be a diagonal? Instead of a curvy curve? That could work. Like that. Maybe? That could do. And then, how we deal with over here, it's gonna be weird because this corner bit's gonna be thinner? That is weird. That is super weird. It almost makes me want to remove this and just bring it up instead of having the thing that we were doing before. Because, like, I suppose we can do that now that there's so much other stuff. We can probably break free of the thing and then have this be... Hold on. Let's restore this, and let's see. Oh, we can just copy it from over yonder. Okay, great. And then like that. Is that how it was up there? Not exactly. It is a little different. Oh, right, because we need to go down like this. Great. So that works. That is... I think that works, and that helps. Okay, that is a sizable improvement, but it still doesn't look great. So I wonder what will happen if I bring these around a little bit. Like around here. And then when I get with these, when I get those around, maybe potentially putting some clay into this here thing? Maybe not at that scale. Let's see. What scale am I on? Okay, I was at half block. Is that color gonna work there? I think that might work. Let me just see what it's like when I have this across the other ones. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. That is looking better. It looks a lot better. That was a small thing that helped a lot. I did a bit more stuff. I changed this up here to be clay to match this kind of thing we have going on there, and I think it looks good. I had clay at the lower area before and it didn't look good, but at the top it actually does kind of look good because there's this stripe of hardened stone in the midst of the clay that's down there and the clay that's up there. I also, this is not done, it's still quite plain. I extended this wall over here, and this area obviously isn't done. Added a little bit of detail to this area, filled this in with glass so it's like a glass walkway, and obviously put some stairs here. There still needs to be some touch-up on the stairs as well, like this little spot. These little spots right there, they gotta go. But I think that's gonna do it for today. Next episode, I think what I want to do is maybe work over there, like over yonder or something. Maybe a connection to this over here, like a sky bridge or something, sky building or what have you. But regardless, that's gonna do it. So I'm gonna say good day to you, Internet, and thank you for watching.